Script here with another video. Star Wars lead Ewan McGregor makes desperate plea, asks fans to write to Disney for a second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh boy. In making the request that perhaps only he and 7 other Disney Star Wars fans truly want to see fulfilled, and 7 other Disney stars, Obi-Wan Kenobi has asked audiences to write to Disney in order to petition them for a second season of the Disney Plus series. The longtime franchise star made his plea during a February 3rd panel appearance at MegaCon Orlando, following a conversation regarding his time on set filming the solo Star Wars series. McGregor revealed that at the end of the day, he was very happy with how the production ultimately turned out. The 6th episode really got me, I was just sitting there with tears rolling down my face watching. I was so touched by it. I was so pleased, so happy. I mean, I couldn't even see what was going on. It's so dark. The show, every scene, every time him and Vader are on the screen together, I mean, the final fight, which I'm against, they weren't supposed to fight in between this period of time, but whatever. They got to get Vader in there for marketing. But it's so dark, you can't even hardly tell what the heck is even going on. I'm just so happy that we managed to do it, and also that we did it like that. It was originally going to be a movie that I've often thought, should it be a movie? And I kind of think it's great that we did it that way. It's a longer story, and hopefully it's more satisfying as a result. We got more screen time to weave the story. No, it's too long. It's like every other Disney Plus show. All these shows were supposed to be movies. Boba Fett, Kenobi, I'm going to guess Ahsoka, because, and you can kind of tell because there's so much filler and so much needless stuff in there, and things move so slowly at times that you can tell Obi-Wan should have absolutely been a movie. It should not have been a TV show. To this end, Gregor has admitted, I just hope we can do another one before asking MegaCon attendees for their help making it happen. Can everyone write to Disney? I'll give you some email addresses at the end. Just say, Dear Disney, let's have a bit more Obi-Wan Kenobi, please. Notably, this is not the first time McGregor has made public mention of his interest in picking up Kenobi's signature blue lightsaber for another television outing. Asked during an August 2023 interview with The Hollywood Reporter as to whether or not she and the actor had spitballed any ideas on set for a potential season 2. Kenobi series director Deborah Chow recalled, You always think you're going to end a series like this in some magnificent way, but instead you end up in a parking lot with second unit and hardly anybody there. It's always so anticlimactic. But as Ewan and I finished our very last shot on second unit and I was literally taking my headphones off, he was already pitching me ideas for season 2. Turning to her own interest in returning for a second season, there's another 10 years with plenty of stories, and I don't think it's off the board. It is a never say never situation, but we really did conceive this to be a limited series. The trench coat, however, one can only hope that whatever he proposed was better than the first season's trench coat escape scene, otherwise known as perhaps the absolute dumbest moment of all of Star Wars canon in Star Wars history. And it wasn't just the trench coat. Remember, 2 snow speeders showed up. Just two. And how they got there, how they traveled that far, no one knows. So you're going to go attack an Inquisitorious stronghold that's full of stormtroopers and stuff with 2 snow speeders. The whole thing is insane. So 2 things I want to touch on real quick here. Just for those of you old enough to remember, imagine an actor from a Star Wars project begging for fans to try and force the studio to continue more projects with their character. Think of how low things have gotten when that's where we're at now. Please, guys, please make them make another show. It used to be that fans were begging. No one needed to write a letter. There was so much interest. It was Star Wars. And that's how far it's gone. It's waned so bad that the studio's like, nah, man, I don't think we're going to make another Kenobi season because it's just not really worth it. Just think about that. And then you have the actor begging people. That's really sad. And I almost pity him. Honestly. There's a guy on YouTube named Pixel Joker 95, and he's worked in Hollywood, he's been in special effects, and he's taken the Kenobi show and re-edited it into a movie length, and he's got a couple trailers out, and he's fixed so many issues, coloring issues. He's fixed the Grand Inquisitor's look. All these things that should have been done by the studio, he's done. Now, I'm not saying, I don't think you can make a proper Kenobi show with him fighting Vader, and that's my other point in a minute here. But Pixel Junkie did a amazing job. He's supposed to be coming out with it at some point. Right now, there's just trailers on his channel. You can always check those out. Very, very well done. Very, very well done. Incredible, actually. And he even shot some other shots and added to the scenes. And when Kenobi goes into the fire, he actually gets burned, legitimately, and has to go in a Bacta tank, because, that would make sense. He's lying in the fire for a full minute and gets this teeny little burn on his shoulder in the show. So he fixes a lot of those issues. Obviously, I still don't like it because it's got Vader in it and everything fighting Kenobi, but he does what appears to be a really good job. The Disney folks, Kathleen Kennedy and the writers group and everybody else that was involved with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, didn't think that he could hold up a show on his own, and they still felt like they had to throw in Vader. So for all of us that are a little bit older, and we remember what George Lucas said about them not meeting and stuff like that, the whole point was that he was watching over Luke. Now, you could write a show about that. You could have an interesting show where some things took place where he had to protect Luke while still remaining in the shadows and stuff like that. You could actually make something pretty cool, like almost like a stealthy thing where he's dealing with maybe marauders or sand people or somebody who's threatening Luke's life, Owen and Beru. And the thing is what does that say? That they were so insecure? What does that say to Ewan McGregor? That they were so insecure about just having a show about Obi-Wan, who's just like this huge character in Star Wars, but they didn't feel confident enough doing it without having Vader in there for marketing. Why? Like, why? And the thing that's so pathetic is you still could have had Vader in it in a different capacity if he wasn't facing off against Kenobi to some extent. But what does that say? Like, because again, for all of us, it was like he was watching over Luke, and we would have been fine with that. I would have been perfectly happy with a show about Kenobi watching over Luke and dealing with the challenges therein, and have some more scenes with him and Owen and elaborate on their differences and conflicts and stuff like that. And I'm fine with that. But they had to put Vader in, and that just shows you the level of insecurity with them. And I don't think most people needed Vader in it. I think it's just another marketing ploy, sell more toys, have the shot of another one of Vader with his mask cut, because for some reason that's just so titillating. Vader with his... By the way, let me know in the comment section, how's he breathing with the cut? Like, he literally says to Luke, if I take my mask off, I'm going to die. And he dies within like a minute and a half. So how did he survive walking around and talking to Kenobi with his whole breathing apparatus and everything cut open? I'm trying to understand how that works. That's, of course, another Filoni special from Rebels, or Clone Wars, or whatever the heck it's from, that cartoon. And then they had to redo it. But you guys let me know in the comment section, like, what does that say? Doesn't that kind of say that they're kind of desperate, that they had to put Vader in there? What does that say that Ewan McGregor is so desperate when this is supposed to be Star Wars and Obi-Wan Kenobi? Like, people should be so excited about the idea of it, and yet they're not. What does that say? They could have done it right. They didn't. They had Leia underneath a coat. They had all these mistakes. I have reviews of every episode. It's actually really funny. When you don't take it too seriously, you just laugh your whole way through the show. What do you guys think in the comment section? Did you like the Kenobi show? Do you want another season? What do you think about Ewan McGregor, pleading with you to try and force them to make one? Do you think they just put Vader in there for marketing because they're totally insecure about their ability to write stories about these characters? So let me know in the comment section. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for watching. If you do like this content, please like and subscribe. Always helps the channel. And check out any of my other Star Wars content, and have yourselves a really good day.